Welcome everyone to this joyous, merry, happy SNL podcast. Recording from immediately after the episode ended. The feed cut out, I pressed record, one of us is not here yet. Let's go around the room. My name is Rob Moden. Let's go alphabetically by first name.
Brian.
Kevin.
There you go. And the missing...
A merry little Christmas.
You're coming in.
Gay.
You're coming in 15 seconds too late, but that's all right.
I came in right on cue.
And that's Matt Smith. Matthew Smith?
Whatever. They're the same thing.
How is everybody? How is everybody's Christmas season going?
I put a little too much vodka in this drink. That's alright, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing drink every time Keenan comes on screen, so...
That is not a positive. That is, that will, I don't know, that's probably the worst drinking game you can imagine. All those bartenders that he didn't play tonight, that was Taran.
Yeah.
Beck Bennett had a very quiet night.
Yeah.
Did he appear at all?
He appeared as Fidel Castro's lifeless body.
That was it.
And the guy who had to work late at the Christmas office party.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't even know if he's in the wide dance sequences at the end.
He did a voiceover for the Dr. Evil.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good call.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're here to drink and be merry and all that. It's the last podcast of the year. We thought we'd do a special occasion. 2014, y'all.
Woo!
So that's right. This is the Deep Thoughts on Cereal podcast. It's really going to boost our iTunes numbers. I don't know if you guys have seen, but
They
the
both murdered her.
Cereal and the Slate Cereal podcast has a third Cereal fan podcast in the top 10 of iTunes.
Third, Jesus.
Is there any serial podcast about those serial podcasts?
That's what I suggested, although I think somebody out on the AV Club might have already. But like the Cereal.
We should probably just do one about that podcast before somebody else gets in on it.
Mm-hmm.
A hypothetical third-level podcast.
No,
We're
guys.
going to do a podcast about that and be the
Break
fourth.
away from that garbage and do our own. We'll do a podcast about our podcast and just beat them to the punch.
Exactly, because no one else is going to. Look
Well,
at all
I
that
mean-
stuff on your table over there, Bri. Ooh.
What's up?
Olive
my,
oil, is that?
my gingerbread house?
There's a gingerbread house. You made that for the podcast, correct?
Of course. Enjoy, everyone.
By the way, this is not related to the Christmas season at all, but the greatest thing tonight was I was walking around earlier this evening, and I was in a store, and all of a sudden I just hear like, and like running by this store was this bar mitzvah bus called the Bar Mitzvah Tank, and it was blasting.
Amazing.
The
I was
music
born the wrong religion.
you would want to stereotype a bar mitzvah as having, just like music that sounds like an off-ramp, like na 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 na.
Yeah.
Da da da, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Yeah, that's it. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. You got the lyrics. Nailed it.
Kevin,
That is
you haven't been on a video podcast before. How are you? How's it going?
No,
How are you enjoying the new format?
It's good. I'm sorry I don't have a Santa hat.
As you should be. Boris Dollarama's finest right here.
Your Christmas V-neck.
Is that a V-neck or is that just a crew neck that's been stretched out?
It's a V.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's get into the episode, I guess. And how did everybody enjoy it?
Overall good, but it was super light on the host. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad no one had her because I would feel bad for that person. Because like what 9 seconds of airtime.
He'd probably need a third host to make up for it. One that was announced tonight.
Oh, boo.
The Kevin Hart train continues.
Who?
Creepy. Yeah, it seemed really light with Amy Adams. Although,
She was a supporting character in the episode, yeah.
I mean, she does sing in every sketch, which really boosted her points up.
If anyone had her.
So much singing.
Yeah.
Her monologue got hijacked by someone who already hijacked a monologue this season.
Yeah.
A monologue, and they made a reference to it. She hijacked her monologue last time as a monologue about how Kristen Wiig and Amy Adams apparently look alike.
Yep. To
Okay.
2008, I want to say.
Yep, I don't remember ever thinking that, but whatever.
I find it weird that when Kristen shows up, she's playing like this character. She's been basically the same sort of exaggerated version of Kristen Wiig both times this season. But we didn't see Kristen Wiig when she was on SNL. We saw her play a bunch of different characters. Yeah. So it's like this established, oh yeah, Kristen Wiig, this is her personality. And it's like, we don't know your personality. This is, you have this cocky attitude about you, where it's like, oh, is this who you were? Is this how you see yourself? This is your exaggerated version? Like that, I don't know.
Did that become the character that the show gave her the season after she came back from not Mean Girls, Bridesmaids getting big?
Could be.
I don't know. Any sketches stand out to anybody?
I think the big one for all of us is probably the same one, the cereal sketch.
Okay.
I saw it the second I saw Cecilia go, this is it, isn't it? They're actually doing this. It never occurred to me that they would do a sketch about cereal.
When I saw the glasses and the voice pattern she was using, it's like, I know where this is going. And I'm surprised because podcasting, like as big as that podcast was, is still a niche entertainment. And like I don't think there was a lot of laughter of recognition from the audience. So.
Well, I think the audience is loaded up with One Direction fans who probably got there 2 days ago.
It really didn't seem that way to me. It seemed like they were pretty quiet for most of the night. Like they behaved themselves.
No, more than Justin Bieber, I'll give him that.
I never saw that episode.
There was a lot of screaming when it went to Daryl Hammond saying, just the NBC guy saying like, download them on iTunes.
Yeah.
The NBC guy who's still around still sounds a lot like Don Pardo, apparently, in my impression. I also thought, let's get into the opening, because I was immediately like, this is the greatest, and Matt was immediately like, this is not great.
Oh, I liked it too.
I loved it. Austin Powers 1 is a big thing for me. There's a summer where me and my brother watched that movie every day in our basement of our new house because we didn't know anybody in the neighborhood.
Aww.
We didn't have grass in the lawn to play in, and I know, right?
You were 7 when that came out?
I was a little boy.
A little boy.
Want to be a big boy.
What year was that?
97?
That would have been 98 probably, because the VHS.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
99.
I didn't have a problem with Dr. Evil showing up. It's like, okay, this is a clever way to go about this. And then it was just him sort of lecturing the camera about them, how they failed at being evil, and without any really examples of it just didn't feel like anything Dr. Evil needed to do. And it was making jokes that people have already made, the GOP thing, about being the same as the Republican Party. It's like, everybody's got there already, and there was no fresh take on it.
It's Dr. Evil. He's not exactly supposed to be fresh.
Yeah, and he proved it, but that joke itself stood out as what joke wasn't supposed to be it wasn't meant to be a sort of a next level thing where he's making a joke that everybody else has made. That was there because that was the joke they wanted to make, even though everybody else has already made it.
It didn't bother me. It felt Dr. Evil-ish, and I just appreciated seeing Dr. Evil one more time.
Kevin, how about you?
The whole time I was wondering, or I was just waiting for, is he going to slam the Love Guru? Is he going to pull one? When he talked about being bold, I'm like, there it is right at the end.
Does Mike Myers still think he was good in The Love Guru? We must know, America.
He apparently does not.
It's no 54.
It's 54. I enjoyed it. I did not expect, of all former cast members to show up, Mike Myers to be the one. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
So you expected Eddie Murphy instead?
Oh, that would have been perfect. No, I didn't see that coming either.
Do you expect Fred?
I enjoyed the line, if you want to make a movie tank or something, just move it to January, because it's like so inside baseball.
Yeah, I like that.
I still enjoyed it.
I think it was perfectly in line with this season, where the cold opens have always kind of sidestepped the hard bite, but they have been genuinely funnier. And the harder edge stuff was a little bit more relegated to update.
Yeah, It's been a weird balance of like clever concepts for the opening sketches versus just straight up, this is a news show, this is a press conference. It's been like week on, week off, week on, week off, week on, week off.
But every time they're clever, they sidestep. It's a clever sidestep every time.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of biting stuff they could have done on this subject, with them all being within the comedy industry, and this being something that literally is, part of what they do. But I didn't feel like they really hit the mark all that well throughout the night. I feel like it was a missed opportunity on their behalf. This was gifted to them.
Yeah, I thought they touched on it a lot more.
Yeah, I think I tweeted out from the account saying, like, at the beginning of update, it was like, Cuba, interview. Yep, expected.
Well, I mean, there's always I saw the article Brian posted earlier today about Entertainment Weekly saying, like, oh, it's going to be a North Korea heavy show tonight. And just, I don't know if, has there been a time recently where there's a news story that really takes up more space than, like, one regular sketch and a weekend update? Like,
I don't think so.
The Ferguson sketch that was cut the other week and got a lot of acclaim, I think that was probably mostly, it said cut for time, but I feel like it was probably more, they already had a Ferguson sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cold open, at least.
Yeah, I don't think anything's overtaken the show, like you said, more than sketch and update, maybe a couple jokes on update.
Was there anything Asian American Doll?
Oh, I loved that. That was good. There were some great lines. It got a lot. Like, I tweeted a couple lines and a picture from it, and that got probably the most attention out of anything I tweeted. A lot of retweets, a lot of likes for it, more than I think about any other sketch.
Weird that this is the show that is doing something about Asian American, where they never had a cast member in their history of their 40 years now that is like Asian American.
Hey, Fred Armisten's like a sick
Japanese the whole time, but he's only.
They always say
like,
that.
There's a fraction going. He's one of everything. He's covered the globe.
Ooh, I don't think I could play so many.
He could play so many ethnicities without any controversy.
I don't think we're supposed to talk about that.
I don't think we're supposed to talk about this.
I did like the chef and the dog. I didn't see that bit coming.
Oh, yeah, the dog, and like, wait, does that mean because they eat them? And they're like, oh no, we didn't see that coming at all.
Was that Vanessa Bayer's only sketch? I mean, she was probably in the background of a few things, but
She must have been in Office Party, I'm assuming.
I didn't see her.
She was in. She was also somewhere into Office Party. Yep.
yeah, I figured they were all in Office Party. But besides that,
That is it. She was not live in the show.
Wow, it really sucks.
Although she was at the Good Nights.
yeah.
It really sucks. Really sucks if you have both Beck Bennett and Vanessa Bayer on your team.
Yeah,
Is
Pete
that
got
true
more
of somebody
attention.
here?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'd hate to be that guy.
Who is this person?
This Victor. I don't know. He could probably rally if he has another host coming sometime soon.
Hey, that's only one more name. They got a lot more hosts to announce.
Not that many more.
None of mine.
The
Yeah,
serial
Kevin, have you gotten any hosts yet?
I haven't hit a single host.
No,
Me neither.
You, Russell, and Rob are on the same boat.
Mm.
You should all go take each other out for dinner or something.
I'd settle for host impressions at this point.
Who did anybody have Seth Rogen? Because there was a host impression there.
Was that counting? Does that count as a
I
host
counted it.
impression?
We have to count it as little as it is, even if
I
it's
want to know.
drowned out by the audience.
My question was, does that count as a recurring character for Kim Jong-un? Because he wasn't really playing Kim Jong-un. He was playing Bobby Moynihan, who was playing.
It's either
he wasn't completely in character. I don't know if that's him playing Kim Jong-un.
Listen, it's either 5 points for playing Kim Jong-un or it's 5 points for playing himself. Both are worth 5 points.
When?
Or it's both. Do you want to go down this rabbit hole now?
Both.
Anyway. We're a little subdued. We gotta get it going. It's party. It's Christmas. It's merry.
Every time I think you're going to talk, then I see you with a beer bottle in your mouth. And it's like, oh, okay.
So usually I just talk because I need to fill in silences or I feel the need to do something, and then instead I just put a beer bottle in my mouth.
Rob suffers from what we call pressure of speech.
Mm-hmm. Our Colbert podcast that we recorded earlier had some nice long monologues for myself.
It did.
Really?
You taught yourself out.
A little bit.
What else is really good? Asian American
Kevin
Doll.
Hart getting announced as the next host was really good.
Tenderfields was more enjoyable to me once I Googled it in the middle and immediately found out that it was actually based on another family.
Really?
I wrote that down. Was this a meme that I missed? Was this viral?
Just because they specifically said that we had a viral hit last year, we're trying to make a thing of it. That I'm like, oh, that seems like a specific.
It was a viral hit from a year ago, and they made a sketch about it?
15 million hits.
Like them, I guess them doing it again this year, yeah.
I guess. All right. Yeah. I enjoyed Kate's one line in it.
Yeah. I
enjoyed Kyle's creepy children always work.
The recurring, the chorus of it really got in my head. It was a little earworm for me.
Yeah. But it felt
Christmas.
Maybe you want to listen to some Will Smith?
Yeah, it felt like they wrote the first verse and a half really close to the Will Smith beat, and then the rest they just kind of put in at the end because it didn't.
I gotta argue against Keenan of all people being the interloper in this relationship, though. Yeah. I just don't buy that. They could have had anyone else in that part. This
is a sketch where Keenan literally brought things to a halt.
Yeah.
Yes.
He came in and told everyone to stop.
Yeah.
It was a microcosm of the entire Kenan Thompson experience.
Right.
He shouted. He brought it to a halt. It's Kenan Thompson, everyone.
Kenan Thompson experience coming soon to Six Flags Orlando.
Oh.
If Orlando wasn't terrible enough city already.
Oh, speaking of Orlando, and then thus speaking of Cuba, what did we think of the Cuba sketch?
Blah.
What was that?
Terrible. And then I wrote down singing again.
Yeah. It's not only the singing, it was the imperceptible accents on Cecily and Taran, which surprised me between the two of them.
Was Cecily doing an accent? It sounded like she was speaking her normal voice, and then at the end of the sentence, there would be like one little lilt to it. And it's like, I guess that's Gloria Estefan.
Yeah.
The only thing I enjoyed from that was seeing Bobby Moynihan standing there. It's like, is he Jorge Garcia right now? Yeah. And then he says, I'm Hurley from Lost. I'm like, yes.
No, we picked him for the host draft.
Bobby Garcia? I did pick him for the Weezer album cover draft. So.
Okay. You well, it was down to the wire between that and the color blue. So.
It was that and I don't know, that monster is climbing over the hill in their new album. It's a pretty good album. Weezer's third best album, guys. Check it out.
A band's third best album. Go out, run out now. Get it at your local Walmart.
Yeah, I didn't get where that sketch was really. I got the game of the sketch, but I don't know. It just didn't land for me. It was nice to see at least a few of the like a big chunk of the cast in it, just doing little bits like Kate and Pete. But I don't know. And I don't know Pitbull, but I don't think did Taran's impression of Pitbull land for anyone.
Taran, he looked like the guy from Disturbed.
Yeah.
He was going to get down with the sickness. Ooh, ah, 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 ah.
And also, I pictured Pitbull wearing like a powder white suit as opposed to a conservative gray suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
The one that sticks out in my mind right now because it was featured on that Christmas Best Of special is when Fallon was hosting and he did a Pitbull, which was eerily accurate and made Taran seem like he wasn't really trying. I am Anito. You are in Miami. So, uno, dos, tres. Pitbull. I did like that line.
I like that one too.
Pitbull's really awful. Although I do like Timber.
Did you ever hear the Men in Black 3 song he came up with?
No.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let me look up the lyrics. But basically, like everyone was like,
promise you no.
Hey, why is Will Smith not doing the Men in Black song? And it's like, oh, because Pitbull's doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is does he sample Love Is? It's the one that samples Love Is Strange, right?
From. Baby, my sweet man.
This is twice he sang on a podcast today, Rob.
Singing points for Rob. For that fantasy lead is based on our podcast.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find the lyrics. Did anybody ever hear about there was some Men in Black 3 lyrics?
I can promise you, if it's a Will Smith movie reference, I have not heard it.
What line are you looking for?
There's a line in the song that is absolutely awful. Just like the word.
The movie?
That's the criteria.
Oh, because I don't give a number 2.
Oh.
That was worth the build-up.
Poetic.
That should have gotten a Razzie alone.
And that's what they came up with to serve in place of a Will Smith song, a Will Smith banger.
Well, did you hear the one from Men in Black 2? It was like nod your head, black suits coming, something like that.
I like that one.
Really?
No.
I mean, it's a Will Smith movie song. There's a certain expectation going with the bit into the gate.
Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider, etc.
I sat through, out of some sort of bizarre sadomasochism, and watched most of Wild Wild West in shock. I couldn't believe I was actually what I was
it's
watching.
awful, but the song is great.
Hey, Brian, guess what?
I
I was
did
young
karaoke.
enough to think that movie was good.
Oh, little Rob. He was just a little boy.
I was wrong. A little boy, not yet a big boy.
He wanted to be a big boy. Speaking of musical
Your
guests,
little butt.
they're totally in our wheelhouse. What do we think of One Direction? Rob, you're a One Directioner.
Well, I thought they were going in one direction, straight to the top. I thought it was wonderful. No, I didn't really pay attention. And
I
the
didn't
second
either.
song I actively disliked while it was playing in the background.
I seem to remember the last time they were the musical guest too. They did like more ballady type songs, like "Story of My Life" and some other song that was subdued. And this time again, it was like these sort of ballady sort of things. It's like play something that's gonna get me up out of my seat, play something catchy. I don't know. I found it weird that they were in the Girlfriend's Talk Show sketch as dancers because they do not dance.
Yeah,
They just-
good point.
Like this, I got weaned on boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys who had the choreography going on, and then these guys, and they just sort of bop along on stage.
So the people who were in that generation, like, these kids don't even play instruments, and now you, 15 years later, are like, they don't even dance.
Yeah,
One of the guys played a guitar.
which was weird.
On the Twitter feed, everyone was talking about how it's 5 guys, 1 guitar. What the F is going on?
There's a guitarist standing behind you. Why are you better?
Is that one
That
guy?
guy's probably good at his instrument. The guy back there.
Does that one guy always wear that hat? He was even in the dancing thing. He was wearing that wide-brimmed hat.
Oh, you don't know about the One
Is that Harry
Direction?
Styles? We talking about Harry Styles?
It's a hat that's passed down between guitars to guitars between One Direction tour groups. It's an old tradition that dates back to the beginning of the band, which is eons ago. Yeah,
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
I mean, it's the hat. It's the One Direction hat. 1DH.
What was a tweet I read online was Lorne Michaels is texting Mick Jagger about Harry Styles' hat right now. That amused me. Most people want to see Lorne on camera again. Hat, Mick Jagger, you can see it.
So I looked it up. They're all 5'9" and 5'10". They look a lot.
It was a band that was created when they took 30 kids and they lined them up height-wise, and they just took the middle bunch.
I'll tell you, 5'10" is a perfectly average height, perfectly acceptable.
Thank you, Ryan Howard.
They look shorter.
You got that reference too.
Yeah.
But I remembered it because it's my height exactly. So.
I remember because it made me realize I was below average height.
Shorty.
Yeah.
Shorty gets down. I don't know.
Let's all give noogies to Rob.
What did everybody think of the return of Girlfriend's Talk Show?
Same jokes. I mean, I like them, but it's the same jokes.
Really a showcase for A.D. Bryant, which he didn't
Yeah.
do anything else to this.
I'm fine with recurring sketches that happen once or twice a year, I guess.
Yeah.
If the jokes were good in the first place. A lot of people get upset about, oh, we've seen this before. Like, I understand it when it's done 3-4 times a year, but it's like once or twice that people enjoy the joke in the first place. I mean, people keep on watching the same TV shows and make Ron Swanson make the same variation of manliness jokes on Parks and Rec, and nobody complains. And then
I do. I
22
complained this
episodes a
past
year.
year, but you guys wouldn't listen to me. You guys would not. You guys would not accept that 3 episodes about Ron Swanson trying to get off the grid is too many.
I should have picked a different show as an example. But yeah.
I agreed with you about that.
But
It
agree
was
with
too
me. We're supposed to be friends. Agree with me.
I am friends with you.
Why aren't Brian and Matt friends anymore? If I had to say,
We
I
didn't
would
agree
think,
on Ron Swanson.
Hey, I gotta tell you, Matt, I've got Rob in line to step in for you at a moment's notice, so watch out.
Yeah, who? What? Huh?
Got Rob ready to step in your place any moment now.
Oh, he's too young. He doesn't get any of our references.
He gets any comedy reference, he's fine.
Although the age difference between you and me is the same as the one between me and him. So
Oh,
we
different
got off track.
generations.
We were going to talk about that cereal sketch because it was really good, and we should just.
Oh, we're going back to we're going all the way back to cereal.
Going back to cereal.
I agree. It was that good.
All right, go back to cereal.
Read all of my notes. It was a great Sarah Koenig. She nailed it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was surprised by the limited appeal. I thought that was a Kyle as Santa Claus, right?
Yes.
I think so. It looked
Yeah.
like him.
I thought his version of Adnan, like getting his speech patterns, was
Oh
fantastic.
my god, it was so good.
Them building the sleigh. The sleigh.
And then his explanation of why
The
it's no.
Jay stand-in, Jingle,
Yeah.
Jay Farrow playing Jay, basically.
God.
Which is how I picture Jay, mostly because of the name.
Of Jay.
So
80 Bryant as the Christina Gutierrez stand-in.
Perfect.
Yes, animated too.
Were you
For some reason, they
stepping
animated.
out on Stephanie?
I just want to note that, like, including the fact that they animated Christina Gutierrez, like, they were perfectly able to translate the serial.
Oh, we just lost Rob. Oh.
Oh, okay.
I
Really insightful stuff.
I thought I did that because I was muting myself to cough. Anyway, I agree totally with on the sketch police, the courtroom sketch drawings of 80s character.
does that count for points? They don't appear in the sketch, but the drawings of them do?
Well, I guess her voice did. Her voice counted for it, I guess.
We put in a voice thing where she'll get points for that.
And she is represented visually, so I mean, I would count it. I wouldn't read it.
There we go.
You know, I think the precedent was set in that puppet sketch from the Bill Hader one. I think Keenan got full points for being in puppet mode. I don't know what Russell decided on that. Whatever happened there, I'd imagine be the same thing for 80 in this sketch.
I credited 80 with full points because it was a visual representation plus her voice.
That's
agree.
probably how it'll shake out.
Yeah, Christina Gutierrez, I mean,
And also, they mentioned the Nisha call, so.
that floored me. I just the throwaway and the Nisha call next time on Serial.
And MailChimp.
The MailChimp line wasn't a fresh take. I know Megan McKay.
Everybody's made that saying. Everybody's got a take on the MailChimp thing at this point.
Uh,
I dread that they ended with the MailChimp logo, but
I don't know if it was it covered while I broke out of the conversation. But Kevin, have you listened to Serial?
No.
How did this sketch hit you?
So, I was wondering, like, is this a thing? Is this something I missed? And then saw it inform me that it was a thing and was something I missed.
Yes, it's a 2014 year-defining thing.
Okay.
Oh, big time now.
So I've got a couple of days to catch up.
For those who don't know, somehow, it's a podcast that NPR produced. It's just following a true crime case. It was 12 episodes for season 1 from 1995. Basically, a guy was accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend and was arrested and sentenced to prison.
Did you say 1985?
I love
1995. Summarized where he's in jail, and this NPR reporter is going over the case and analyzing it step by step.
I love envisioning a person out there who listens to this podcast but has not heard of Serial.
Exactly. So somehow you don't know.
I'm gonna have to correct you. I'm pretty sure that Sarah Koenig and the This American Life crew are Chicago Public Radio and not National Public Radio.
But aren't they? Isn't it in conjunction with NPR?
It is not.
This is
No.
American Life.
Oh, okay.
From WBEZ Chicago.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
What I was trying to say before getting cut off was basically it just represented the TV versions of the show so well.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there might be a TV adaptation in the works or in development or just something, a pitch document somebody's working on, and SNL has already done the hard work of figuring out what it would look like.
Establishing their palette of what it should look like.
It never occurred to me for some reason that they would do Serial. I don't know why. I'm glad they did it. I wonder how long they had it kind of in the warehouse, like a little cue card on the whiteboard, Serial, and then trying to break it, how to do it as a sketch.
I bet that with the final episode scheduled for the week before Christmas, it was scheduled for this Thursday. They were open about it being 12 episodes, and knowing that it was kind of just a building thing, I think they've been working on it for weeks because that seemed like a complex shoot, and it didn't have a host involved.
That's true.
True, and none of the references necessarily needed to be that more current episodes. But so yeah, I mean, and then they had the joke in the weekend update as well, which I didn't think was as sharp either. Where it's like, what was it? Ask for more on this. Ask white people.
Guys,
I like that.
I'm a little sick of the racist ask white people jokes. I mean, this is something that white people like. That That joke has existed for 10 years since time we put our troubled history.
Are you saying are you feeling oppressed as a white person?
A little bit. I feel like I'm being judged by the color of my
no,
skin
no.
for what I like, for what podcasts I listen to.
Were you not the one who asked Stephen Colbert at a live taping about stuff white people like's inclusion of the Colbert Report?
Well, people should just listen to the Time Capsule podcast coming out sometime tomorrow for that story.
There you go. Cross promotion.
Yeah, Matt doesn't like the name.
Time Capsule sounds like you're going to bury it, and then someone should hear about. It seems like a podcast comes out and you should hear about something from 20 years ago, not something that just happened.
Yeah, we're gonna not release it for 20 years, but we're gonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be beamed directly into people's brains because that's the technology we'll have at the time.
We're burning it on CDs because I assume that's gonna be eternal.
You're sending it back in time.
You're sending it back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, in defense of that ask white people joke, how more of anyone who didn't know what it was.
That
Wow,
is
true.
an embarrassingly good point, Kevin. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, no real response to that because we just got served with some.
Moving on.
What were thoughts on Update? Going to Update.
Sure. I enjoyed Bobby Moynihan / Kim Jong-un. I did not care for Neighbor Willie at all.
No.
I have almost nothing to say about that.
Ugh.
They did that joke in Rio de Janeiro about Kid Rock, and I'm like, Kid Rock, really?
Yeah, that was an
As
awkward.
someone who hates Kid Rock probably more than any other famous person, I enjoy him being the butt of a joke, but again, yeah, not very topical.
No.
I didn't.
Nice suit, Jost. Like
Yeah.
the suit. That was all.
I liked how they had a joke, that's what Jost calls music.
Yeah, that was
I
fantastic.
enjoyed that, and then they cut to Jost, and he had like no response to it whatsoever.
Oh,
He nodded a bit.
Side glance. Yeah, he got
It feels like you make a one-liner based off that, and he just lets the opportunity fly by.
Yeah.
His
He gave
name
it a
was
side
in
glance.
the punchline. And then later on, they did a joke about workplace robots, and I wanted him to be the punchline to that as well, but no such luck.
Yeah, you're just projecting onto the writers.
Yeah, well.
Write your own jokes. Send them in.
What is a backup singer to Bill Cosby, by the way?
That is a good line.
Let's
Well,
imagine what that is for a little
Does
bit.
Weekend Update actually still do the thing where you can send in your own jokes? That was how Ben Schwartz rose to fame.
I'm pretty sure you
Back
can.
with David Letterman.
He did it for Letterman, yeah, but I don't
He
think
did both.
SNL does that. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he did Weekend Update too, but Letterman he got far more success on. Plus, he was
Dude,
an
let's start writing some jokes. Let's start sending them in.
Send them the podcast.
What happened in the news today? What happened in the news today? Something that we can do a fresh take on. Saturday's a slow news day.
I did podcasts all day. I have no idea what happened.
You did podcasts all day?
I did podcasts all day, yes. Well, 2.
I was only involved with these two. Okay, here we go. Clearly the hard part of this job is figuring out what the news of the day is. And then once you figure that out, you can figure out what joke to make.
I'm
Different
sure
newspapers.
some intern brings them newspapers every day. That's the easy part for them.
Yeah.
Print newspapers, yeah, sure. Old man McGee.
I got ink on my fingers.
What I don't know. Just what was it? What was the third one? Oh, Garth and Kat. Any thoughts on Garth? And Kat?
Oh, I think we may be the only people who don't love Garth and Kat.
I don't understand it.
I do not love Garth and Kat.
Because
No.
the Deep Thoughts follows on Twitter could not be flipping up more for Garth and Kat. They love them.
Yet the people on the podcast just give a solid stamp of no approval. Garth
don't
and
hate
Kat
it.
are out.
I don't hate it,
It was
but
nice to see Fred Armisen come back and then immediately like, oh, they're doing this.
Yeah, I mean,
I like seeing them break. It's cute because obviously they don't care. They're ex-cast members, so what happened, whatever. But it went on a little bit long for me. Yeah.
It's not even improv. It's Fred saying something, and then Kristen
Trying to
looking
keep
at
up.
look at his lips and try and keep up. It's like he's controlling the whole thing. So I don't know why they do it. I don't get much out of it. And
and that's what matters.
It did feel like Che was
I'm
trying
the
to. Was like,
demographic.
tormenting them a bit by making them repeat the name of the song. I kind of like that. It felt like a dick move, but a really funny dick move.
Did you say Keenan or Michael?
Che.
I know, but did you say Keenan?
When?
Pretty sure he said Che.
I said
Okay.
Che.
All right.
I never referred to anyone by a first name there. I said Che. Don't try to paint me as a racist. Not in front of Kevin.
He's already got one on us.
Exactly.
He did. He's being very quiet, but he's staying like poised like a hawk to strike at any moment.
There were two good jokes that I thought got not good jokes. Well, one was a really good joke. One was an okay joke that got really bad reactions from the crowd. The Cosbytron 4000 whatever got a noticeable boo.
Can you
like a groan?
I wrote uncomfortable audience is uncomfortable.
Yeah. They really groaned at that. And the
what was the joke? Sorry.
Oh, it's just that I can't remember the premise of it. It was like set up some robot can I don't even remember like administer sedatives or something. Yeah, sedatives because you pronounce it sedatives.
Yes.
And it's a robot can administer sedatives. They call it the Cosbytron 4000 or something. And that got a big like noticeable building groan from the audience.
My Joe's punchline doesn't sound so bad now, does it?
No, I guess not. The other one I liked that it kind of got an off reaction was this would be the first time Kathy Lee turned down a glass of wine.
Yeah, I like that one.
I liked it, but yeah, I could tell the audience not crazy about it.
Did you notice Che casually comparing himself to Kim Jong-un and casually mentioning that they both get heat on the internet?
No, I didn't notice that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
What was the line?
He was talking directly to Kim Jong-un. I get it. You're so like I'm like you. We both get heat on the internet, and that was the first example. And he sort of kept on going on.
I respect that.
And he's like, I don't respect. This is the first time he's addressed that heat on the internet. It was pretty warranted if you remember what was going on at the time. But I don't know. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
I enjoyed it. Rob, what did you think of next door neighbor Willie?
Next door neighbor Willie. I'll just be honest. I immediately tuned out and went to checking if my points thus far had been. I don't even know what the hook of the character was.
He got Che to break a bit.
Thompson yelling. It's what he does.
He was an old man who lived next door to Michael Che. That was it.
It's amazing he won't get recurring character points for that because he has done that 1,000 times. He's been that guy on Weekend Update 1,000 times.
Oh, but this time he had a green sweater and glasses.
There was even some lines I chuckled at that were fine, but he kept on going to the well of, it's like that old saying. It's like when you do it 4 or 5 times, it's like we know it's not an old saying that you're going to say. The element of surprise is gone.
He kept getting Che, though.
It's the same.
You hear Che off screen kind of trying to keep it together on all those.
Yeah, but I've complained about Michael Che enough already, so. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's like last week, even when that one sketch with the red boots. I thought his pronunciation of red boots was funny the first 2 times, but the last 17, not so much.
Ask them about my boots.
My red boots. And he's like, there's 2 of them. They're boots, and they're red. It's like, yeah, you've really milked this.
That might be the funniest thing Keenan's done in a few months from me now. I was on the line. I said, I'll never hear boots the same way again. Fuck you, Keenan. And then Brian quoted me. And I didn't necessarily mean it in a positive or negative way. Now I'm leaning towards positive. It might be the funniest thing Keenan's done for a while.
I was sure we were on the same page.
I don't know. You wouldn't come around to my theories on cereal, and that just started a division.
Yeah. It's splintered, and now we're on separate ice flows drifting into different parts of the Atlantic.
There's also the Office Party sketch.
Lonely Island Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even down to the way they were dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, very much so.
As excited for a second, kind of like Pete Davidson rap video. Sure, let's see this, and it was okay.
It was fine, but you compare it to what it very much felt like, and it was just paled so badly in comparison to anything the Lonely Island would have done with that joke.
Yeah, if they weren't an existing thing, then it would have been a lot better than.
Mm-hmm.
What you said, Lonely Island Light.
I mean, I was about stuff I like. Making it rain gift cards resonated quite a bit with me because that's how my Christmas party on Friday ended. With everybody getting a gift card. I believe I got a Bon Appetit card for Swiss Chalet or Harvey's or Montana.
I was the Beck Bennett guy trying to get some work done at first.
Now, Matt, sorry, a bit off topic, Matt. Do they tell you how much is on the card? Because that's happened to me at office parties, and then later on you find it's like $10. You're like, oh.
25. I'm pretty sure it was 25.
Oh.
Yeah, that's that's 2 quarter chickens.
You're getting the main and the app.
Drinks on me, but only one. Only one.
Dinner for one for Matt.
That's usually the way it goes.
It also seemed like it was trying to be another one of those, dude in my twin bed, back home baller, last week's church thing where it's just like it's taking observational humor and like kind of going extreme or music video with them, and usually it pays off, but it didn't quite this time.
I felt like they did pay off into some lines of it, like where it's like, yes, this is stuff that does happen, and it's like it specifically resonated. Just the rest of the delivery system didn't necessarily work. Like something like Twin Bed, where it's kind of a good song that goes along with it as well as the observations. But this time it was just a bit of shouting lines. There wasn't really a flow or a song to it. More so, it was just, hey,
where was Pete Davidson's flow?
Yeah.
There's some good visuals in it too. Like I liked how drunk 80 got in it. Like she was fall over drunk. It was
Tackle the tree. Tackle the
tree. That was great.
The cleaning lady out of uniform.
Was that Leslie Jones' only appearance in the episode?
I think
it was.
Right.
I was going to mention it was.
Not speaking part.
Wow.
That's gonna hurt the point.
And was Sashir's only appearance in the monologue?
Was she in the Cuba sketch?
Yes, monologue only.
Oh my goodness. I mean, good spot for her to get points, but not that Sashir Sameda is like, yes, at least I got like 20 points tonight, bros.
In that
some people
SNL
showed up a lot.
My career's doing fine.
Some people showed up a lot, and some people did not.
Yeah.
She'll get more
Taran Killam.
Won't she?
He shows up in like every sketch and sings and dances through his way through every single one.
Anything to talk about in either of the post-second song sketches, Dames, or the recurring cat shop, I guess would be what to call it?
I love 10-to-1 sketches. I loved how weird, especially that first one was. I don't know if anyone would have seen where it was going with the ending.
The absurdity of that ending was so delightful.
Yeah, I love that about those.
Raccoon puppets? Is there not? There's not points for turning into puppets, unfortunately.
Sadly, no.
Besides the ending, I wrote down second week with a lounge singing sketch, second miss.
Oh, I liked it.
I don't know if it's a miss. I was like kind of on board, and then they like started singing, and their song was surprisingly like well done, both like musically and in terms of it was like that Apple Sisters style, like really quick. I liked it.
I was impressed all three of them could keep up with it that well.
Yeah, except for Amy Adams going a little early on the second one.
Does it count as a flub, like as a break? That Bobby started to say his line of, "Oh, gross, it's filled with garbage," before he actually opened the purse.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't count it.
He was struggling to open it, and he's like, "Oh, it's filled with garbage," and then he finally got it open. So it's like,
smell it. Let's just assume that.
I know. I lost points because there was some weird line stuff in a Vanessa Bayer sketch with Chris Rock a while ago.
We're past that
she
now.
said a lie. It's like, I feel like this counts as well, and Russell will be hearing from me.
You're going Sheldon on us.
So, yeah, I enjoyed that sketch. It's like, we're getting yum some garbage.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Get you?
It was quite...
sketch?
Cecily was very good tonight, between her Sarah Koenig and that sketch, and she's very good at the very monotone delivery all the way through Girlfriend's Talk Show. Mm-hmm. The voiceover for the commercial, the Asian American doll.
Yeah.
Cecily
that was great.
Cecily was on fire all night long.
I knew My Boyfriend is Crazy for the Girlfriend Talk Show.
Yeah. Stand on a shrimp box and.
Always good. Sometimes I just see a smile. Sometimes I see a laugh. Something like that.
My boyfriend's crazy.
Cat Sketch was okay. I'm not crazy about it. I mean, it's good enough. It's weird. I like that, but
I
it was one
remember
really good
making a
line.
splash with Charlize Theron, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, it was
I
better
remember
than
they had a cat named Cat Stevens because he's now hardcore Islam.
Yeah. This cat thinks he's people, and I'm not sure he's wrong.
There was one. What was it at the end? It was our price as low as we'll give you $20.
Yeah.
It's like, why won't you say that you love me? I wrote it down. Isn't that good enough? What do you want? I enjoyed that.
It was good.
So overall solid episode, fair to say?
There was nothing that I fell in love with besides maybe the cereal thing.
But nothing offensive.
There was nothing I didn't really care for all that much except for we talked about it, right?
What was the second?
The Cuba one night, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, Cuba was off.
And everything else was fine. So
Yeah, it was good.
And the host didn't get to make an impact at all. You didn't get to feel like, oh, Amy Adams really owned this sketch.
No,
Even her own monologue got run over by Kristen Wiig. So
I mean, it's kind of expected with the Christmas episode. You know, there's gonna be ex-cast members come back, so you know they're gonna get a lot of screen time.
Yeah. What was
actually, I do have Amy Adams as in the serial sketch. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, she was the homeowner that she went
Yes,
to.
she was the first one. Okay.
Okay.
Did anyone pick that second One Direction song?
Nope.
Nope. I had Steal My Girl.
Yeah, me too.
What did I have?
Those pricks. Those limey pricks.
They did this to us.
This is the one thing I dislike that band for.
Shall
we move on to points?
Sure.
I have a guess who's for number one.
All right, take a guess.
Taran?
TK.
Well, in my unofficial points tally, he is tied with Kate McKinnon.
Really?
Really?
Yes. Kate McKinnon showed up a little bit more towards the end.
She did get that recurring character at the very end.
She did sing too, yeah.
She was singing in that second last sketch as well.
Mm-hmm. Lots of singing, lots of dancing.
Yeah, it feels like some weeks like Taran Killam's in every single sketch, and they're giving him like the Will Ferrell treatment, where Will Ferrell will be like in every sketch. And I like Taran Killam, but I don't think he's the same level of funny as a Will Ferrell, where you can make him a straight man in some sketch, and he was just so innately funny that something would ooze out of him as the.
And yet, I feel like he's underrated. I feel like years from now, like it could easily be a thing where, like, especially if he gets a movie career or something behind him, where he's able to stretch a little bit more. It could be like the kind of cast member that people look back and it's like, if you look back, what he was really good at was being the straight man that really helped support everybody else.
You're talking about Taran Killam or Will Ferrell?
Taran Killam, for being that. I honestly feel like. Like, I don't know if necessarily he's showing it right now, but maybe in retrospect it'll just seem like, oh yeah, he was kind of a glue that could be called on to do almost anything. I know on Twitter there's a lot of, like, Taran Killam can do, like, any impression. Yeah. He did, like, Sam Smith and Pitbull in the same episode? What the hell?
Did he do Pitbull? I think we established that one. But yeah, it's like as the bartender in that one sketch, it's like
that could have been anyone else.
Yeah.
It's the same thing we complain about with Keenan when he's the bartender. It's like that doesn't need to be him. It could be Declan. It could be Kyle Mooney. It could be someone who could use the screen time.
Exactly.
But Kate McKinnon, Taran Killam, 72 points each.
Wow.
Okay.
Compared to Amy Adams, 75 points.
Wow.
Which seems high. Mostly because she sang in every single sketch, basically.
I was going to say, that seemed high for her, but good for her.
I like Amy Adams.
I do too.
She's the heart of the Muppet movie.
She is. She's the purse girl from The Office.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Wow.
47 for Bobby Moynihan.
His cousin Beth from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Wait, so there's almost 30 points between the top 2 and 3?
Yep. 25. From Kate McKinnon, Taran Killam, 72, to Bobby Moynihan's 47, Kenan Thompson's 46, Cecily's 43, Mooney's 42. Then we get Kristen Wiig and A.D. Bryant tied at or actually really close at 35 and 34. Some people having Fred Armisen and Jay Farrow around 30. And then basically all the rest of the featured players and Vanessa Bayer rounding out with under 20 each or so.
No, it's really, I think, like Vanessa Bayer's been on the show for what, like 5 years at this point, give or take?
Yeah.
Is she the only main cast member who hasn't, I don't think she's been in any promos this year. She hasn't got to do any of the stuff with the hosts of the promos that come out on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at all, I don't think.
I'm not sure.
Like everybody else who's not a featured cast member has gotten a chance to do it, and I'm pretty bitter about it.
It seems like she's disconnected from the rest of the cast in a way, and I don't know why or how. If she's, because I feel like 80 has also, I think 80 also pre-exists Cecily and Kate, but she's kind of gotten along well with them and created kind of recurring stuff with them. But Vanessa was a little bit more around with Abby Elliott, with Nassim.
Yeah. It's amazing we haven't gotten a sequel to Dyke and Fats yet.
Yeah.
It's astounding that wasn't something that happened in the first 3 episodes.
Wait, of 80 or Kate's run, you mean it was in the first 3 episodes?
No, he's surprised that they haven't done it yet.
Done a Dyke and Fats sequel because it was such a thing after the first time they did it. And it seems like, oh, well, you have to do a follow-up to that. And
yeah, but where do you take it?
You maybe you don't even do a sequel to that, but maybe like a spiritual one where it's the 2 of them playing characters maybe in a different kind of genre show. And sort of like a similar payoff, but I'm surprised they wrote it together, and I don't know. I think it was something that you'd see more of them doing stuff together, but not so much.
Mm-hmm. You don't get to call them that. They get to call themselves that.
Put that on your writer's submission, Matt.
So moving into next year, we have I think Matt's far on top. He has Kevin Hart coming up for him. The league is either going to start really running out of control on a runaway Matt train, or hopefully see some shakeups. Even when I did the guest blog, we did see some people switch positions in a very dramatic way.
Dramatic.
Yes. Somebody jumped up 4 places at least.
It's a pretty tight race from, I think, 2 to 5.
Well, isn't it 1 to 6 is 100 points or something like that?
That's my understanding.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I guess I had 40 points over second, so I guess I'll hang on to that, even though Beck and Vanessa did nothing for me, and I kind of whiffed on song choices. If Kate did indeed tie with Taran, so I didn't lose a whole lot of ground.
No one has a host this week, so I can see that.
So I probably go into the new year.
Matt, where would you be without your hosts? Would you be in?
Let's not talk about it.
No, let's talk about it. Where would you be without your host?
Without Bill Hader's 100-point performance, that puts me somewhere down by 6 apparently.
This is not a put down or anything. I'm just really curious.
The other one, Jim Carrey. So yeah, I might be dead last.
Behind Saad, who doesn't even pick songs.
Doesn't even pick songs.
Is that out of principle? He just doesn't acknowledge that music exists on SNL?
He just, you know how he says he's going to come to the trivia club and then never shows up? He says he's going to.
I'm aware of this. Yeah. He's a weirdo.
And you guys being roommates, you think you'd remind him?
Yeah, well, we have this. This is my side of the room, the very Christmas side of the room, as you can see, with the lights and the tree over here.
And then halfway up the wall, you have some tape that separates his side of the room, which happens to be the ceiling.
Basically, yeah. Celebrating some other holiday over there. I don't ask.
Should we move on to games? One last burst of energy.
I keep the trophy on this side of the room.
Uh-huh.
Constantly tormenting him with it.
Whatever. Okay.
All right, so let's move on to games. Last bit of energy. This 1 a.m. in podcast was a mistake because I'm already half asleep.
I'm ready to go for another round, my friends.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, all right. So we're gonna have some new games. We're gonna explain them as we go. I will be keeping score. I randomly selected the order before we went because that always turned out to be a big fucking deal. So fuck it.
Okay.
All right, so the order will be Kevin, then Brian, then Matt.
Facts.
It is not a fix. I'm a fair and balanced person, like Fox News.
What is that?
What? Sorry?
I just saw a picture on my screen.
Oh, that's my
Matt-
mug.
Matt's
That's the
doing
mug I've been
something.
drinking out of.
Oh, okay.
Dwight Schrute mug. Everybody has a drink? How about you drink when you're wrong? Let's make this fun.
No, I'm running out of my drink.
So I just got wrong a bunch of times, let's say.
What kind of Christmas are you guys having? If you can't drink. All right,
Benihana Christmas.
first game. Last Man SNLin'.
Ooh.
Oh.
Based on the Doug Loves Movies Last Man Standing game, aka the Seth Rogen game, where they have to name films
Oh my
of
god.
an actor.
Oh no.
We are now going to name, in the Christmas spirit, Christmas sketches. And we can play one of two ways, and I want to take a vote, and the 2/3 will win. Are we playing it Last Man Standing gets a point, where if you can't name a sketch, or you name a sketch that we decide is not a Christmas sketch, you're knocked out, and it's just the last person left who gets the point? Or is it 1 point for every sketch a person can name?
No, I think it should just be 1 point for the person who wins it. We keep
Kevin.
it simple.
Your vote?
The simpler one, whatever that was.
I'm not sure what that is. Matt?
The opposite to be difficult.
All right. Let's make it interesting because it's Christmas. Just a lot of points. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. With a point each for every sketch you can name. Kevin, can you please name an SNL Christmas sketch?
Does it have to be the proper name, or can I just describe the sketch?
If you can get as close as possible, I will be the judge, but I'll probably be generous because it's Christmas.
Yeah. Dick in a Box.
Yes, that is correct for a point. Brian,
Doing it on my twin bed.
I'll take that. Matt,
The Baby It's Cold Outside one.
that's probably as vague as I'm gonna let people get because I know
the one with
specifically
Cecily
you're talking
Strong and
about
Jimmy
last
Fallon.
year. Last year, yeah. Kevin,
Sweaty Balls.
Brian,
Steve Martin, If I Had a Wish This Christmas.
Matt,
I wish it was Christmas today. I wish it was Christmas today.
you don't get singing points, but I appreciate it. Kevin,
Does Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song count?
I'm gonna say I said Christmas, so I'm gonna have to kick you out. I'm so sorry, Brian.
Justin Timberlake and dressed up as the Christmas decoration street mascot, like the sign pointer guys.
I'll take that, even though it's a Christmas.
Sing the jingle.
It's a Christmas version of
Christmas Town.
Bring it on in Albertville.
It's Homelessville or Christmas.
Yeah,
Town
Homelessville.
or
That's
one.
it.
Matt,
When John Malkovich is doing like the night before Christmas with a bunch of kids around him.
Brian.
Oh, jeez.
5, 4, 3, 2,
No.
1. Matt, if you can name one more for a bonus point.
Jimmy Fallon's monologue where he does the U2 song Christmas. And then he goes backstage, and Andy Samberg and Vanessa Bayer come up with, what about the Jewish ones?
I'll take it. All right, so
many more.
we now have Matt 4 points, Brian 3 points, Kevin 2 points.
I'll take it.
Ric Flair style.
Next up is don't forget the lyrics.
Oh, God.
SNL style. I don't
One
have a
Direction
clever
song.
name for it yet. But I'm
Damn it,
going to
Rebel.
name a Christmas, or I'm going to have you pick from a couple of different Christmas songs. I'll be a little vague with what they are, but I'm going to give basically 2/3 of the line or the couplet or the rhyme, and you have to complete it. So, let's say Kevin's in last, so he can pick first.
Hooray!
Would you like a song that was on? It's all Christmas songs. A TV Funhouse song, a song that was in the opening, or a song featuring all dudes.
Song in the opening.
All right. Can you complete this lyric from Santa's My Boyfriend?
Mm.
He's joyous and kind, and I don't even mind when he sees me and shouts.
I cannot complete that lyric.
I can give you maybe 30 seconds to deliberate, and if Matt and Brian want to help you through this, that's just in the Christmas spirit.
When he says...
He's joyous and kind, and I don't even mind when he sees me and shouts.
Oh, I remember that sketch too. It's
Oh.
Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph in
I
it.
think I've got maybe...
I think Matt has it, and you know what, Matt? Hold it back, because I might give you the chance to steal.
I think I might maybe know it.
Brian wants to steal as well.
I might have it.
Well, I might not be able to offer the chance to steal if two people want to steal.
I don't know.
Kevin,
I was confident.
Cam, you're out. Matt, Brian, say your answers at the same time for no points, but 3, 2, 1.
You're mine?
Ho, ho.
Matt is correct. Ho, ho, ho. Because it's a pun.
Oh,
Because it's
good.
offensive.
Thanks for explaining.
Oh.
Yes. All right. Brian, do you want a
this
TV
is always
Funhouse? TV Funhouse or all dudes?
Ooh, let's go all dudes.
Why would you choose that one, Brian? I can't imagine.
All right. Finish this lyric from Wish It Was Christmas Today. All I know is Santa's... Listen. All I know is Santa's sleigh is...
Oh,
Kevin to steal.
Matt said "oh" first.
No idea. I will offer it to Kevin to steal.
What? That's not how it works.
Sure, let's make up that rule. Kevin.
Yeah.
Is making its way to the USA.
That is correct for 2 points. So Matt and Kevin are now tied with Matt going into this round. Matt, complete this lyric from Christmas Time for the Jews. Now it's nearly 10:30. Yes, it's time for bed. Daily Show blank. Blank, blank.
Daily
blank,
Show rerun. How many words? You said blank, 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 blank?
Just as close as you can get, I'll be generous.
So, like, Daily Show rerun plays in their heads.
Correct. 2 points for Matt.
Those are the actual words?
It is Daily Show reruns running through their heads.
Running through their heads, okay.
Yeah. All right. So it is Matt 5 points, Kevin 4 points, 3
Fairly
for
similar.
Brian. Finally, 6 degrees of SNL. I have 3 hosts per each of you that are related to Amy Adams through film roles or some role. I'm going to name those 3 hosts and then 3 musical guests, and you have to match them each to one another. 1 point for every correct pairing.
Can I write these down?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Brian, you're in last place,
Thanks for rubbing it in.
so you'll go first.
Okay, I'll take that.
Bradley Cooper, John Goodman, and Ben Stiller.
Mm-hmm.
Connected through American Hustle, I believe, to whatever for the Curve. I looked this up beforehand. And Night at the Museum 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Okay.
Bradley Cooper, John Goodman, Ben Stiller, and musical guests,
Musical guest.
Alanis Morissette, Neil Young,
Ooh,
TV on the Radio.
on the radio. All right, so total guesses here.
Wait.
I'm gonna
Brian
go.
has 11, or he just picks one.
I have to match up the musical guest with the host.
He can get up to 3 correct.
So Alanis, Neil Young, TV on the radio,
It'd be very weird if you
Bradley
only
Cooper.
got 2 correct.
John Goodman, and Ben Stiller. I'm gonna say Ben Stiller, Alanis, TV on the radio, Cooper, Neil Young, Goodman.
That is correct, all 3.
Yeah.
Oh! Wow!
Brian moves into the lead by 1 point. Let's see if anybody can move ahead of him.
No, just give up.
Kevin,
Yes.
Second place. Your three hosts are Steve Carell, related through The Office, Jennifer Lawrence, American Hustle, Tom Hanks, Catch Me If You Can, and Charlie Wilson's War. And musical guests, Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Lumineers, Usher.
It's pronounced Ursher.
Sorry, who was number 2?
I'll repeat them all. So, Steve Carell,
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence, Tom Hanks, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lumineers, Usher.
Okay. Steve Carell and... No. Jennifer Lawrence, Lumineers. Steve Carell, Usher. Tom Hanks, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
All three are correct.
Ah, damn it.
Which means Matt has to get 3 in order to win the game. While Brian is out and can go the fuck home.
Yeah.
Matt, your 3 celebrities.
Uh-huh.
Jason Segel from The Muppets.
Mhm.
Jeremy Renner from American Hustle. Will Ferrell from Talladega Nights. Your musical guess. Maroon 5. Florence and the Machine. And Usher.
Really?
Do you need any of them repeated?
No, I wrote them all down.
Is Kevin's puppet following along?
What's his name?
I'd never named him, actually.
The audio listeners are very confused.
Where did that even come from?
His imagination.
Did Jason Segel make that?
There's a place in New York where you can they make a Muppet as close to you as possible, except I'm not as orange as this guy is.
Working on that
wearing?
time.
Yeah. He's wearing a trench coat.
I'm gonna go
That's
with.
troubling.
Fuck.
Why'd you just give up?
You already lost. Go home. We'll say. Oh, I hate this so much. Jeremy Renner and. Fuck it. Florence and the Machine. No. God damn it. Will Ferrell and Maroon 5. Jeremy Renner and Florence and Segel and Usher. Whatever.
I'm sorry, all 3 are incorrect.
Yeah.
Jason Segel, Florence and the Machine. Jeremy Renner, Maroon 5. Will Ferrell, Usher. Which means that Kevin has taken the win.
To be fair, Kevin had his puppet helping him.
To be fair, those guys got easier ones than I did. Those were all clustered from the same time era, so you can't associate the music acts with like, oh, okay, well.
What? Oh wait, yours or yours?
Mine were unfair. I feel like I couldn't separate.
I made sure that the Ben Stiller and John Goodman was equaled out by Neil Young and Alanis Morissette, which had a longer range of relevance.
Yeah.
TV on the radio was pretty easy to pinpoint.
Not even
TV
remotely.
on the radio and Alanis Morissette do not overlap in relevance.
I have no idea who TV on the radio is.
Florence and the Machine all overlap at the same time.
You don't know TV on the radio?
Not at all.
Their new album
On
is
Dancing
really good.
Shoes.
Their new album is really good.
Yes, it is.
I probably
SNL Connection. I saw them perform on the fire escape of the Ed Sullivan Theater on the one episode of David Letterman I attended, where Kristen Wiig was the other guest.
Oh, there you go.
All connected.
We were all
All
in
connected.
SNL Connection there.
We're all just little molecules flown through space. Something, something. Time is a circle. Something, something.
Something. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on the year SNL in general. Today's episode, Amy Adams, the podcast. It's the last episode of 2014. What are our hopes for SNL? What are the hopes for the podcast?
What's the prize?
Oh, your prize is dignity.
Show a map.
Yeah, look at this thing that I want here. Look at that.
That's terrible object work, Matt.
Yeah, that's terrible work.
It was exactly what I wanted the shape of it to be, though.
Timey-wimey ball.
That's exactly what that is.
My hopes for the show for the new year, more Pete Davidson, and maybe Daniel Radcliffe, Jason Bateman, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Kristen Bale, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, don't read the entire list. Comedy rule
Jimmy
of three.
Fallon.
Comedy rule of three.
Maybe one of them.
Well,
hosts.
Listen to 3 of 3.
Way too long. Mute that guy.
Cut his mic.
Cut his mic. I don't know, like wishing for something with SNL seems ridiculous because they're so set in their ways for a lot of things, and I could sit here and say, oh, I hope that Colin Jost gets replaced on Weekend Update. It's not going to happen. He's their head writer, and
Would you wish for that? Are you that cruel?
I don't think he's good at his job, and I don't think Michael Che is good either. But wishing for it to, I don't think anything will ever change. They're not going to admit some sort of mistake there. Whatever.
Kevin, what are your wishes?
Merry Christmas to the Jost family. He gets to date Rashida Jones, doesn't he?
Are they dating?
I think
Is it
so.
Rashida Jones?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Kenan Thompson pass the torch a bit, and not in a sense like disappear from TV entirely, but start getting some of the featured players, even the cast that's not featured as much, into some of the sketches that.
What do you think happens to Kenan Thompson when he leaves the show? What is his career path?
A new Nickelodeon show?
Is
Oh,
he
I thought you meant like
a
at
game
night
show on third-tier cable?
I can see that.
Honestly see him do a game show or be the sidekick to a late-night talk show host.
Andy Richter's really the only sidekick in the
Jeff
game, right?
Jeff the
Jeff
Robot.
Peterson. Yeah.
He's out of work now too, though.
Reggie.
They get Reggie now.
Is he going to be a sidekick? I don't know. I really want to know what went down with that because somebody sounded really upset on a different podcast.
Yeah.
Upset or just didn't want to talk about it on the air, but yeah, basically the same thing.
Sounds like more of a backstage conversation, if you ask me.
I thought you were asking where does Jost go at night in between the shows, and so I just imagined him going to some sort of outlet or
They
Ghost's
power him down and put him in a broom closet.
Yeah, that wasn't what I thought, but I was imagining what you would think, man.
Going for the joke thought.
Mm-hmm.
The joke thought. Yeah, but hopefully they get some good hosts, and they do some good videos, and they remember to finish the green screen work.
Yep.
And
I just want them to spread out the love a little bit. Like we were saying earlier, I don't need Taran Killam playing the bartender when he doesn't really do anything with it. Anyone could have done that.
Better than
Given someone a little bit of screen
Keenan.
time.
Better than Keenan.
I agree, but when Taran's already super heavy in an episode,
A
throw
bartender? A
Someone
role
a
for
bone.
me to pronunciate?
I'm looking forward to the day that Lorne Michaels steps down and somebody new comes in, and maybe we get some changes in format and something.
No, the show's over at that point.
Yeah, you think NBC lets the show die with Lorne Michaels? It's the one institution that NBC has.
No,
Besides the
Lorne
Tonight
Michaels.
Show.
They'll continue on with the Lorne Michaels. Lorne Michaels isn't that
Absolutely
far off from
will.
retiring.
They continued without him before. They'll do it again.
Absolutely.
But I think whether by just as an image thing, or unless it's amazing under somebody else relatively soon after that, it dies by
I think it's a
the reputation of Lorne Michaels is gone, it's lost its way, whether or not it would be true or not.
I think there's enough backlash against the show every single season as is that
I agree.
anybody who steps in and says the show is dead now because Lorne Michaels is left.
Especially if they have someone
Maybe
relatively.
the same people have been calling it dead for decades.
Yeah, maybe if there's someone relatively young who's got a little bit of a name cachet in comedy.
Yeah.
I
mean, we
could
can sit here and talk about what we liked on the show, whether we thought it was shit, anything like that. I want this show to live on forever. It's the last live television show you see anymore. as the last thing you watch, and you might not know what's going to happen in terms of a celebrity cameo and stuff like that.
Yeah. No appointment television
They're
for
not
me.
as relevant as they used to be because of like Daily Show and the internet of people who can get in on certain jokes before they can and whatnot. But I still like that idea of like an hour and a half a week where it's live TV. And
just wait, now that you said some young hotshot comedy person's going to take Lorne Michaels' place once he passes on. Jimmy Fallon. That's what you've gone us into.
I think a lot of people want Tina Fey to have that gig someday, but I don't think she wants to do it.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But I mean, if somebody formerly of the show, who knows the rhythms of it and comes in and upholds the tradition, but at the same time,
Fresh.
is willing to maybe go a bit more meta than the show usually goes every now and then, or recur like sketches that recur on themselves throughout the night, where they can reference a joke that happened earlier on, stuff like that, where it seems like they're almost dead set against doing. Just to free up the structure of the show a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Good job. We're finally on the same page. Yes.
Any hopes from you, Kevin?
Matt did really well to sum it up. That's exactly what I was thinking. A little bit of a change in format, but it'd have to be, as Matt said, it'd have to be changing.
Now again, I don't expect it to happen next year. I don't think Lorne Michaels is shipping out anytime soon.
No.
But yeah, that's just something I'd like to see someday with the show, and hopefully I live long enough to see that. But probably not.
I have a feeling you'll outlive Lorne Michaels, not to wish him any ill will, but...
Not if I keep drinking tonight. Mm-hmm.
My one wish.
If I had a wish.
A new webcam and a consistent internet connection.
I haven't dropped out once this time.
And $300 million in cash deposited into a Swiss bank account.
Are you holding a Pokeball?
Yeah.
It's a coaster. It's a Pokeball coaster.
Nice.
It's one of those things where it's a bunch of little. I don't know if it has an official name or anything, but I've seen like kits for this where it's like a bunch of like little plastic, tiny little pellets or cylinders, but then you like melt it all together into a pattern. There's also
Fucks up your oven.
What a nerd!
This one, Master Ball.
Let's get a good look at that sweater you got going on there, by the way.
It's an Old Navy sweater. Keenan was wearing a very similar one in the monologue. I thought he might have had the same one, but there's snowflake in the middle, kind of diamonds and triangles, and just cool enough that I could probably get away with wearing it through most of the winter without anybody going like, Christmas season's over. Yeah, I'm a screw.
Toolbox. Good plug for Old Navy. Good plug.
Is Toolbox a? I mean, if you go there and you spend over $25, they give you Old Navy Super Cash, which is like cash, but it's super because you can spend it at Old Navy.
Within a certain amount of days.
Now, within about a 4-day window. Now approved by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. There you go.
I had a perfect Christmas shopping trip today in the sense that I bought some stuff for other people and I bought more stuff for me. So
Nailed it.
Perfect Christmas shopping outing.
Are you gonna get that Simpsons sweater?
For a little bit of background, Kevin sent me a picture earlier today of a Simpsons sweater that he saw at Forever 21, and I went to Forever 21 today, and they did not have them. You dirty, dirty liar.
That was sent to me by someone else, but he bought it and he showed me the receipt. Forever 21, $20.
I'm pretty sure it's
Gardens, my friend. Sherway Gardens.
I'm pretty sure I've seen something close to that at Urban Outfitters. If you want to do that,
Maybe
I recommend you don't.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because you're not a cast member from Girls.
Yet.
That's his real goal for 2014.
Adam Driver's becoming a bit of a star. There's going to be an opening in that cast.
He'd be the second person to step down after Charlie stepped down for for either not getting along with Lena Dunham or thinking he was too good for the show.
I don't even know who that is. I've never seen an episode. So.
Okay. He was Marnie's season 1 boyfriend.
Oh.
That all makes sense now.
Yeah. And he just quit before season 3. And then I stopped following. I don't care because I stopped following a few episodes into season 2, and Broad City is a much better show.
Broad City.
About 20 something girls trying to make it in life and not knowing what the fuck they're doing.
Broad City back in January? Am I
January, I think. Yes.
That and Kroll Show back in January. And Parks and Rec. It's going to be...
last season of Crawl Show, right?
Yeah.
Last season of Kroll, last season of Parks. It's going to be sad times.
Last season of Mad Men.
Finally.
It's last.
Not that I'm wishing it well, I just said it's been the last season for like 3 years now.
For Mad Men, yeah. Last season started a year ago.
Exactly.
Broad City, January 14th.
Hey, it's my birthday!
The day after is Always Sunny returning.
Hooray.
Wow.
And maybe Archer? Maybe Archer as well?
Jan 13 is Parks and Rec and Kroll Show as well.
Wait, January 13th is Parks?
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Wow, so it's Parks, Broad City, Always Sunny, maybe Archer? I gotta check out that Archer date.
When did that become such a big day for television?
I mean, there are no movies are being dumped apparently, so.
No.
That's true. It's a death slot.
Until that interview.
People are home.
In Toronto, and we all get exploded or something by North Korea.
I feel like 90% at least of that Facebook group that we joined is just like us, where we only said join so that we could follow along what happens to that group
Yeah.
of people claiming that we will go see the interview.
I don't think North Korea has the capability to pull anything off. That was actually one of my problems with the Bobby Moynihan thing, where it's like all the laser sights on him, and it's like North Korea doesn't have the ability to do that.
That was your logic problem with it?
Absolutely. So, and it's like, well, the movie's playing in a bunch of theaters. There's definitely nothing North Korea can do. But when you give them one target, like there's like no chance, but like there's a slim chance. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently, Sony, no, the latest is Sony's claiming that no VOD services has responded to their request to carry the movie. But that sounds like bull. And straight up, like the company that makes BitTorrent is offering their paid BitTorrent service to them in a public letter.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see where that goes.
That's a floodgate I don't think you should open. Yeah, we're gonna negotiate with BitTorrent.
It's paid BitTorrent. It's a system that is apparently being used by 140,000 different artists.
Do they pay with bitcoins?
Nailed it. Did you nail it?
Did he?
Did you just take a whack at it with a hammer and it kind of went in a little bit, but it's at like a weird angle and now
Like really wordplay or anything? Like
the frame's not really going to hang properly?
I'll take it as a win.
That nail just seemed like I would.
To you as a win.
It's like a tie.
I mean, I would take that nail out and I would like kind of reposition it, try and find like the beam within the wall, and really like make sure I do it the right way next time.
I'm renting. What do I care?
I don't know. Could we just use a thumbtack instead of a nail? Would that like actually work to hold it up, or
Sticky tack stuff?
Putty.
maybe some sticky blue tack?
Some
Yeah,
of that blue putty.
That always leaves a stain on your wall, though.
yeah. But I mean, if you're gonna nail it to the wall, then it's gonna make a hole.
I'm sure your walls are full of stains already.
Fill that with caulking.
Yeah.
Cocking.
Brian, are you planning to caulk the wall after you've nailed it?
I always do.
This is my sense of humor at 2:30 in the morning.
All right. On that note, I think we'll go out. Thank you for the people who actually tuned in at the 1 a.m. Thing. This was a weird idea.
Whose idea was this insanity?
I don't know. Why'd I do it? Why?
How is the youngest person here the tiredest?
I don't know. Work stuff.
You didn't work today.
I worked until 1:30 a.m. last night.
I guess that counts.
I did a thing.
How many days do you work over the next 2 weeks?
Oh, over the next 2 weeks, Monday and Tuesday.
That's not bad.
Right?
Brian, you're off like for the next 2 weeks,
I'm
right?
not working at all.
I'm working 3.5 days total, I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to like discover who I am, go on a walkabout.
How many cities are you sent to over the next 2 weeks, Kevin?
Actually, on the 29th, I'm in Montreal, right up until New Year's Eve. Work things.
Yeah. World traveler, this guy.
Hospitals don't shut down for Christmas or New Year's.
Wouldn't that be great
They
if they
should, though,
did?
shouldn't they?
Yeah. Just all the accidents and all the
Survival of the fittest, I say.
Consider it, people.
Pray for Christmas miracles.
I mean, if they are closed, then that's really a deterrent to people to stop acting so recklessly.
Mm-hmm.
Stop encouraging them. You're right.
Now I'm
It's
just
like
having
the Purge, but different.
Now I'm just flashing to that scene in the Scrubs season 1 Christmas episode where Turk loses all of his optimism in the world because so many people have accidents on Christmas and the death rate goes up and suicide rate.
Turkleton.
And they do a 12
Days of
Days of Christmas,
yeah.
but with accidents and horrible. Anyway.
Anyways.
All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us in alphabetical order by first name. Do you guys want to sign off where people can find you?
Sure. At Coconut Phone 77. That's for Brian.
Oh, that's me next. In Montreal next week, and at Chicken Kievi.
Hi, I've been Matthew Smith. I'm on Twitter at HickoryWhat. For some reason I chose. And wait, and do you guys see that? You see that up there? It's a mistletoe.
What do you expect us to do about that?
Up there.
Go wake up, Sod.
Tis the season.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. That one's for Brian. Mwah. That one's for Rob. Mwah.
That one's for Kevin. That's going to translate great on the audio version of the podcast.
I think somehow they'll figure it out.
Let's take off these sweaters and see what happens.
Oh, God.
I'm wearing my Home Alone t-shirt underneath.
How much did Matt drink?
Wet Bandits.
Somebody want to play us out?
Should we carol ourselves out? You want to do like a 4-piece? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
There are at least 2 different songs in there. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just play out with the mashup of Serial and Notorious B.I.G.
There you go. Nailed it.
I think we just nailed it, but whatever.
Upon the floor.
What's that?
Play Jingle Bells Upon the Floor.
That's a thing?
You listen to it at trivia.
Oh, he played like 17 mashups. Like, they were all amazing. The one with Sabotage was great. The one with Muse was great.
Sabotage.
It was like Sabotage, and I don't even remember what the Christmas song it was with, but it was really good. Listen, all y'all, it's Sabotage.
Sabotage. You can find. You know what? Actually, go to subscribe on YouTube.
Oh, this is still a podcast.
At Trivia Club.
Wait.
What?
This is still a part of it.
Yeah, we're still in.
Oh, that's good. I was about to get in my racial tirade. You guys know how every time we go off air, it's a tradition at this point, racial tirade, and you all agree with me, 100%.
Trivia Club Network on iTunes and SoundCloud. There will be some other shows coming out, which Brian and I either hinted at or completely spoiled. I can't remember how far we went.
We haven't spoiled the second show yet, so don't worry.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, if you have any comments on December was kind of an experimental month for the format. So if anybody has any comments on how they liked it or didn't like it and what they would like to see, let us know. Let Deep Thoughts SNL knows. And then Brian will be inundated with that feedback, and then he can feed it back to me.
I like it
when I am ready for it.
I love it.
Unless you're Leah Sueko, in which case, shut the fuck up.
She's
shut the fuck up.
I mean, Kevin's our one non-white member today, and Leah's usually our one woman member. So I don't know how much we want to marginalize either of them. We could.
I'm okay with marginalizing Leah.
Leah marginalizes herself. She lives in that margin.
We're living in a dangerous territory, you guys. It's already a white Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
Da 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 da. I'm da da.
Are you doing Heart and Soul?
Of a Hawaii da da Christmas. Da.
I like this as the closeout music. So bye, everybody. I hope you all have a white Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
That's the version from Home Alone that I grew up with. Which I'm wearing a T-shirt.
Aren't you saying? Isn't that Santa Claus?
T-shirt.
Isn't that Santa Claus?
What?
Isn't that Santa Claus, Tim Allen?
You need the same Christmas songs.
The Santa Claus.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.